Oh, it's $1, but whatever.
For some people. Not all.
People.
All right, so back into our game. This is going to be game number 4.
Whoa!
4.
Our production guy gave us a whole bunch of
like a
fingers.
5 and a 4 or something. That was weird. But it's going to be between coL.Ryze and TubbyTheFat.
Hey, so I have my arm around your chair right now, right?
Yeah.
And yesterday, did you see the translator for NASL? Why was he so chummy with Hero?
I have no idea.
Are they like best friends?
I know Hero.
Are they
signed
as
my
good of
keyboard.
friends as we are?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no
man.
one can compete with this bromance.
No, not at all. Bromance, bro toss. All right, go ahead, introduce our players.
Okay, so spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg. It is coL.Ryze.
Indeed. Oh man, that was so sick.
I know. Swanson, man.
Whew, good thing I don't have motion sickness. And his opponent in the opposite corner, the Protoss, the orange Protoss, down 2-1 in this best of 7, is it?
Yes.
Best of 7. It is Emma Stone, otherwise known as TubbyTheFat. Now, Entombed Valley, very popular choice for Protoss, especially over Zergs. Really, interesting placement of that pylon. Looks like changing the metagame on us. No Forge Fast expand. No even wanting to get 3 bases as quickly as possible. I wonder what he's going to go with here. Maybe a gateway push?
This is definitely going to be some sort of gateway expand or gateway themed game here.
You know what I was thinking? I'm sorry, I have to say this because this is how bad I am. When I first started playing Protoss, I could never beat Zerg because they were just running with Lings immediately, like at the start of the game.
Right.
So this is what I used to do. I used to encase all of my my probes inside of a wall of base. So I would just have this teardrop shaped base in which my probes were.
It's like a receiving cradle for
and
the Zerg to
no
come in and
Zerglings
kick your
could get
ass.
in there, and I just laugh at them when they tried to come in because Zerglings couldn't. They'd come in
Then
with
they
6.
expanded to 3 base and you lost the game.
Then the game changed, man. The game got small.
Game
I never got
changed.
small. The game got
you
small.
Nope. You just stayed the same. Forge going on the back of the base here. So
Whoa.
yeah, very interesting play here. Maybe he's worried about some sort of 6 pull or something.
He's been watching my replays, man. My first replays.
He's been following.
This is my build,
He's
bro.
been following Jovian.
Even before I was named Jovian.
No, even before that. Zerg's just happily, just gonna macro up. He's gonna get his hatchery going down, and I'm really questioning this this Forge play. Maybe he doesn't want the Zerg to scout it.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting choice. It will take a while for Ryze to scout it, just because this map, you don't really know where your opponent's going to spawn, so it might give you a couple extra seconds. Actually opting for the Nexus as well, and with nothing defending that huge ramp up at the front, I'm really not sure how he's going to play this. He did put his Forge in the back, and I just can't understand why you would put the Forge. If you were going to put a gateway, that's something different.
I can think of a couple of reasons.
Okay,
one
go ahead.
Would be,
Give me one.
not being able to have it sniped in the front if he was going to go for some kind of early pull play, which he did do last game.
In the second game, right?
Right. So if you do lose your Forge in the front, that's going to be really terrible. But
I
also,
totally agree,
it's also
but
not able to. You're not able to scout it, right? So he doesn't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of mind games.
It is mind games.
Yeah.
He'll come up to the base and he'll be like, "Oh, there's nothing there, so there's no one there."
Yeah, with this one cannon up at the front, he will be able to kill small number of Lings that will come to the front door, and is opting for a quick 3 Nexus, perhaps.
Yep.
So this is going to be an extremely greedy build. And let's see if it works out for him.
Just because, he was able to delay the scout by so much for not putting anything in the front, right?
Uh-oh.
And here comes the 3 Nexus. Overlord's going to be floating in, though, and this Overlord is going to be a hero of the Zerg race if he's able to scout this.
Yeah, he's going to tell his Zerg family, blah, which is going to tell them that there is a 3rd base.
That's exactly what that means.
And we do see the drones happy to get as much economy as possible. Here comes the Overlord, sees everything, and now he's got some alarm bells are going to be ringing. That one probe's like, no, get away, stop looking. Don't look over here.
Don't
the Nexus is now completely revealed. So it is 3 Nexus. We still don't see much of a response from Ryze, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't try to get some huge aggression out really quick.
Ryze is definitely going to do something about this. Either he's going to expand himself or like triple expand himself, which it looks like he's going to be doing, or he's just going to be starting to pump out Lings or some sort of army to attack this Protoss. Because right now, what does Protoss have to defend? Basically a cannon?
Just a cannon at each of his expansions. So we do see Ryze trying to keep up with bases rather than trying to get an army to kill. It probably has something to do with the extremely long spawn distance. He probably felt that by the time he was going to get there was going to be a cannon up. If he could, however many Lings he could get up, one would die for sure, another one would be at half health, and then he would have a smaller force to deal with that. And trying to sneak in that many Lings to kill a building Nexus, it would take too long.
Definitely.
So perhaps this is the right choice. He will need to He will need to do something, though, because a Protoss on 3 bases is really not something any Zerg wants to do.
Especially if it's an early 3 base like this. And we see the huge wall going across here for TubbyTheFat here. A couple of more cannons. The cannons even pelting away at the rocks over there. And he's just setting up for the late game.
Indeed, yeah. So this is going to be definitely a later... it's not going to end quickly. It's not going to end at the mid, I don't think. It's going to be a while before we see much aggression coming out of either of these players. It's really amazing what Protoss can do. There's really just one Zealot out on the map, and or actually no Zealots, but one about to pop. And look how he's able to have 3 bases. So it's really the power of having these bases.
He is the defender of 3 bases.
Yeah, it's all him. These cannons are happy to shoot down these destructible rocks that will unify his 3 bases, which really is the reason why Protoss enjoy this map over Zergs, because it's relatively easy to get those 3 bases, unlike maps like Daybreak or even Ohana, where there's large chokes into your 3rd.
The people controlling these cannons have like the worst accuracy ever. You see this only not even that far, and they keep on hitting different spots on these rocks.
Don't you have to chip away at the rocks, though? Isn't that realistic? Are you going to shoot at the same spot and just drill a hole through it, Songers?
I don't know. I'm not a miner.
Ah, bro.
You tell me.
You don't even know. You don't even know the hardships
that
of
you've been
digging
to?
through rocks. You haven't seen the things I've seen, man. So
I've seen some things.
I've seen some things. Wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, definitely we do see Ryze going into Roach Tech, and we still haven't seen much of a tech choice other than the fact that it's going to be heavy gateway aggression or heavy gateway for TubbyTheFat. Not sure if he's going to be aggressive off these gates or just using them to defend.
I'm going to take back my earlier call of going into the late game. He does. You know, Tubby doesn't want a late game right now. He's going to go for a huge gateway attack. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, so he is having some units push out now across the map. The Overlords aren't in the best place to actually spot this. It's going to be a while until Ryze actually sees any of these units moving out. So it's going to be, he's not going to be able to respond as quickly as he probably wants to. The Overlords really aren't placed optimally for him.
It's kind of funny because usually you would think the path straight through the middle of the map is actually the worst path to take, but in this case, it's the best path to take, as Ryze doesn't see anything going on in the middle of the map right now.
Indeed, didn't have that Xel'Naga tower. Even the Zealots stopped in front of the creep spread, so really, there's no idea that this is coming. The pylons are going to be up very quickly, and he's going to have a lot of units warped in at the front. Already has 1 wave of Stalkers coming in. Is going to be able to warp in 4 more Zealots right now, so it's going to be a huge aggressive push.
This is going to be a Zealot dance party. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be mass Zealot. As you can see, there's only 1 gas taken out back at home, so it's just going to be Zealot, Zealot, and more Zealot.
Indeed. Now, there are 11 roaches in production. A few of them are going to pop already. 3 of them are already out, and a bunch of roaches are already here. They are going to be able to clean up these Zealots very quickly. The Stalkers and the rest of the Zealots are going to be content to go in through the main. Only 3 roaches saying, "You shall not pass," and a few more roaches to join the army. These roaches are trying to attack this small Protoss army. It's a pretty big army, and now they are pushing in towards the natural, and now they're completely blocked off from retreat. These roaches are going to have a great time kiting these Zealots, and I think that Ryze is going to be able to hold this pretty easily unless more Protoss units come in, which is exactly what Tubby's doing.
Well, Tubby's able to warp in about 6 or 8 Zealots at a time, but you're right, the roaches are actually doing a great job defending this over here. I mean, number of harvests is pretty similar, but look at that. He was able to take out most of the workers at that 3rd base, so even if this does get pushed off, he's doing pretty well for himself here, especially with the amount of gateways he has able to produce units. This roach army won't be able to do some sort of counterattack.
Indeed, the benefit of what he just did there was he was able to really hurt that 3rd base economy. I don't think that he was, well, at this point he must know he can't win the game off of this aggression. You do see him picking up his probe production again, now off of the 3 bases, 3 probes at a time. But really he was trying to stifle his opponent as much as he could, trying to do that economy damage, trying to keep him slower than himself with his 3 bases. And even though it looked like that failed, he might have been able to buy himself enough time to transition into a bigger, stronger army.
Definitely, and you see grabbing all of the gas right now. 5 gases going down. He is going to be very gas heavy because now TubbyTheFat needs to start teching, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
And 4 cannons also being built, so he is extremely paranoid of a major counter push, which is exactly what Ryze looks to be doing. No stops in the middle of the map, maybe waiting for a few more reinforcements. A bunch of Zealots are coming out, and a bunch... I think we're going to see an Overlord drop, but this map, it's going to be hard to drop in very good positions. He will be able to circumvent the front, but he will be able to drop in these back corners, and actually with a slow-moving Protoss army, will be hard to defend.
I mean, there's no blink. There's he only has a couple of stalkers, so even anti-air is quite limited right now for TubbyTheFat. He is getting that +1 weapons, but there's no way it's going to complete before this huge roach drop comes. And as we speak, here they are, Overlords loading up, picking up all their buddies inside their bodies. That sounds really nasty. And here we go.
Yeah, so I think TubbyTheFat really expected this to happen at his front door, and he's going to be really sad to see that it's not that at all. I'm really excited to see the Overlord drop play because this is not that common, and we do see a bunch of roaches being dropped. They're going to be able to destroy this this natural very easily. Even waiting for a little bit to drop a few more units, we'll drop them right on top of the army, and now these zealots and these stalkers and these few sentries are going to have a really hard time having to defend against this huge push that really circumvented the front wall that Tubby spent so long trying to build.
Yeah, he wanted to have that wall. He wanted to have his force field to prevent any sort of army moving through. And just here comes the front. The front has been broken down. Roaches are saying, come on, guys, it's free. It's open. Come in. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, dropping the creep spread to make his roaches even faster in the base. Really well played by Ryze, putting him ahead 3-1? 3-1 over TubbyTheFat. So TubbyTheFat is now against the ropes. Needs to win 3 straight in order to win this match. And Ryze can drop 2 and still win 1 and still come out on top. So really strong play coming out of our Zerg player.
So don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with possibly the final game.